Hello everybody, let's talk about major 7th chord extensions. Okay, so first of all, major 7th is what we call an arrival chord, meaning we need it to be somewhat stable. So when we add tensions to the major 7th chord, it cannot be too dissonant. Okay, so there are certain tones such as the 4th or the 11th, the perfect 11th, that we would avoid. Okay, so first of all, C major 7th, 1, 3, 5, 7. So these are the chord tones. So here is really just a recap. Remember that the major 7th interval, okay, is actually a bit of a tension tone, but it's far enough from the root, so it doesn't really destroy the sound, the stability of the chord. Okay. But it adds a really nice touch to the major triad here. It's pleasing to the ear, so that's the most important thing. It pleases your ear. See? Okay. Major 9th. Okay, so that's the first extended chord that we will learn for major 7th. Okay, so we can add the D. So remember, the D note is really just C, E, G, B, D. All right, is really just the major second, an octave up. All right. See? Again, it adds a really nice touch to the chord. So this kind of voicing is really popular in jazz. A major 9th chord. Okay. And remember, a whole step clash is still acceptable if you put it an octave up. Especially for this case, you're far enough. You're far away from the root. Okay, cool. And sometimes when people do this kind of voicing, they would just put a shelf voicing on the left hand. So let's say C, E, B. So that will make the voicing cleaner, less cluttered. Alright, so that's the second extended chord. Okay, let's add 11. So C major 9, sharp 11. You won't see a plain old 11 here, sorry. So you won't see that. So let's take a listen. So if we were to add the 11, so the perfect 11, so that in that case that would be an F. It doesn't sound very good, huh? It sounds a little odd, right? The reason being the F actually clashes with the E too much. Even when you are more than an octave apart, the clash is still unacceptable. So that makes the whole chord really unstable. And instead, sorry, we'll add the F sharp. See? Very nice. So when you go to modes, this is actually what we call a lead-in sound. So a lead-in sound is really just a root and then an augmented fourth interval and the sound that they create between each other. So when you raise the F to F sharp, that would give out a really, again, sophisticated sound to the chord. Alright, so again, for your left hand, you can keep the shell, C, E, B, and then D, F sharp. Like that, okay? So remember, there's no such thing as C major, perfect 11, okay? It doesn't exist, okay? We don't want it in our major 7th chord, okay? Okay, so C major 9 sus4. This is different. We do have the 11th this time, but since it's a sus4, and we will talk about other chord types in the future, when you look at a sus4 chord, there's no third. So there's no clash. So if I play it, so that would be a 1/5, no third, right? So root, no third, so I'm not going to play that 7th. It's still a little bit dissonant, but its primary focus, its primary function is to really to resolve back to a C major sound. Alright, so C major 9 sus4 is okay because there is no third, hence no clash. one more chord, C major 13, sharp 11. So we're adding a 13. Remember, when we say 13, we're referring to the major 13. Okay, so we have C, E, G, B, D, F sharp, A. All right, very nice sound. So we're way up here. Okay. So if you check on my right hand, it's a D, F sharp, A. What's that? That's actually a D major chord. We'll talk about these in the upper structure section, okay? But if you're interested in what these things are, we have a separate topic for that called upper structure, so you can check that out later on. But for now, let's not worry about it. So C, E, G, B, D, F sharp, A. That's your 13 chord, okay? So remember, when you are including the sharp 11, you have to notate it as a sharp 11. So don't just automatically assume that people would know that, hey, this is sharp 11 because we want to avoid tension. So you have to explicitly write it out here, okay? Cool. And then you have C, E, G, B, D, F sharp, A. So that's it. That's the, okay, 5 chord types. If you exclude this one, that's really just 4. Okay, major 9th, sharp 11. When you add the 11, it has to be a sharp 11 instead of an 11. Otherwise, it would be a sus4 chord. Okay, if you add the 13 and want to include the 11 as well, then that's the case you're looking at. Okay, cool. So I would see you in the next video where we get some practice.